Okay, let's give you guys some more practice. So here you've got a circle of radius 1. That means from the center of the circle to the edge here, it has a distance of 1. So you've got a dot moving around the circumference of the circle. So when it's here, and then it moves all the way to here, then it makes an angle of theta here. Well, anyway, if you draw a vertical line down here, you would create yourself a right angle triangle. Well, this length here, the hypotenuse here, is of 1 because the radius is 1. Well, find out this length, the height of the right angle triangle, and then find out this length, okay, and then find out this length as well. Okay, so find out all three basically. So find out this length, find out B here, and then find out C here. Okay, so press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this here, let's just concentrate on the height. So we are trying to find A here. Okay, the hypotenuse here is 1 because from the radius of the circle is 1, so we know the hypotenuse is 1. Okay, so yeah, from our knowledge of trigonometry, well you can imagine the C as being here, and the sun is here. So that means we would need sine. Okay, so sine is opposite. This here is your opposite over the hypotenuse. So always sine the angle. Sine the angle equals, well, this equals the length here, which we called it as a over the hypotenuse, which is 1. So now yeah, a divided by 1 is just a. So basically a is really just sine theta. So when looking at this here, a is sine theta. So you can pretty much forget about this and just call it the height here is actually sine theta. Okay, so the height here is just simply sine theta. Okay, now looking at this length here, well, you've got yourself a right angle triangle here. Hang on. So the C is here, the hypotenuse is 1, the sun is here. You're going to need you're going to need this one here, cosine. Okay, so you're going to need cosine. So cosine. So let's call this B here. The length here is B. So cosine the angle equals B over the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is 1 here. So over 1. Now B divided by 1 is just simply B. So B is cosine theta. So really the height here is sine theta. The length here is just simply cosine theta, and the gap here, this gap here, okay, this gap here is well, get the radius of a circle, which is from here to here, which is 1, and then take away the distance from here to here, which is cosine. Remember, this distance here is cosine theta. Okay, so this gap here is simply 1, which is a radius, take away cosine theta. So that's your gap there. That's your gap in between here. Okay, so that's your answer. But something to there's something important that you have to realize here. The height here is sine theta. The length here is cosine theta. Now if you this length here is 1. Now if you use Pythagoras, remember Pythagoras is anytime you have a right angle triangle, let's just say this is A, B and C. The hypotenuse, the longest length, this A squared equals B squared plus C squared. So the hypotenuse is always on its own here. Okay, the longest side is always on its own. While looking at this here, the hypotenuse is 1. So you can say 1 squared equals well, this thing squared, sine squared, and this is the way we write it, sine squared. Okay, well, that basically means sine times by itself, but the way we would write it would be sine squared theta. Okay, and the same with cosine here, plus cosine squared theta. Okay, now this thing here just becomes 1. 1 squared is 1, so simply that. Now this thing here is very important. I would normally ask you to write it down, but don't bother writing it down. You have to memorize it by heart. So sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. Okay, and you can select any angle here. Try it if you don't believe me. Select the angle to be, I don't know, 2.73, and then this is 2.73. If you do this, it will come out as 1. Okay, and the other thing that's important is that, well, the height here is sine theta. This length here is cosine theta. Um, well, this here is tan. Okay, because yeah, if you look at it, tan theta. Well, remember, tan theta is this thing going down. Tan theta is the opposite over the adjacent here, and in this case, the height here is sine theta. Sine theta, and the across here is really cosine theta. Cosine theta. So really tan theta equals sine theta divided by cosine theta. Again, I would normally ask you to write this down, but don't bother, memorize this by heart. This is very important. Tan theta equals sine theta over cos theta. So the other important thing was, what was it? 1 equals cosine squared theta plus sine theta, sine squared theta, or these could, well, these two are the same really. Sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta, same thing. So these two are very important. Memorize these. Memorize this and memorize this by heart. Okay.